Hello, I'm Tucker Crum, a volunteer with the Education Department at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. This video explores American artist John Singer Sargent's iconic portrait of the museum's visionary founder and collector. This almost life-size, full-length portrait of her was painted when she was 47 years old in 1888. In her portrait, Isabella Stewart Gardner stands facing us, her arms hanging down but rounded in a graceful ballet pose, her hands clasped together and her fingers interlaced at hip level in the center of her body. Isabella looks directly at us. Her clear, wide-set blue eyes meet our gaze neutrally, but unafraid. She isn't smiling. Her pink lips are slightly parted, showing just a little of her white teeth as if she were about to speak. Her auburn hair is drawn back behind her ears and off her neck. It forms a tight, boyish cap around the top of her head. We can't tell if it's cut short or gathered into an invisible bun. Her complexion is both pale and rosy. Her ungloved arms and hands, with their long, graceful, intertwined fingers, are smooth and creamy. Her face is slightly pinker, and the plunging neckline of her dress reveals faint areas of pink in her enviable, smooth, unblemished décolletage. It's as if Sargent may have captured her recovering from a blush. Her long, black, short-sleeved gown is close-fitting, accentuating her slim, hourglass figure, surely enhanced by a corset. Her jewelry is impressive. Around her neck, she wears a white pearl choker, from which an enormous ruby and small pearl dangle, pointing towards the shadow around her cleavage. A double rope of glistening pearls attracts our attention, in contrast to her inky black skirt. The pearls are draped casually around her waist like a loose belt. Each strand has another huge ruby dangling from its center. The lower strand has an even larger pearl. More sparkling rubies top each of her reddish shoes. Only the tips of her shoes peek out from the bottom of her gown. Gardner's breathtaking audacity in wearing these extreme luxury items in such a casual, informal way scandalized conservative 19th century Boston. Gossipers shook their heads and called the painting an ostentatious display of wealth not to be borne. The background of the painting added to its scandalous reputation. Gardner is standing in front of a red and gold Venetian antique velvet textile that's in the collection. It has a stylized floral and feather design in swirling, undulating circles. Sargent carefully positioned the fabric so that his subject is centered in an overall design that mimics the hourglass curves of her body. The elaborate concentric gold circles around her head suggest a halo, and a large crown-like motif directly over her head gives the impression of majesty. Both of these implications upset puritanical Bostonians. Although the painting has a simple gilded wood frame, the installation of the portrait is unusual, even startling. When the American writer Henry James first visited the museum and saw it as it's displayed today, he exclaimed, "You look like a Byzantine Madonna surveying your domain." He was right. Gardner placed the painting in the southwest corner of the Gothic Room, an unusually modest place to position the focal point work in a gallery. We are accustomed to find the most treasured objects in galleries in the center of each wall, but here, Gardner places herself in an out-of-the-way place. But she takes the modesty of that choice away as she seems to float her large vertical portrait above a low, horizontally oriented chest carved out of dark wood. Hers is a position of power. The combination of the portrait and chest has an altar-like feel in this gallery, with its wall of stained glass windows and many works portraying a religious story. She is its altarpiece.